What up everybody, Rarity here. The Burning Crusade is almost here and the Paladin class is going to be very popular. There are a couple different options of why you might want to play this class, but mostly it's going to be because either A, you play Horde and you didn't have the option to play Paladin beforehand, or B, you now have the option to play specs that you didn't have in Classic because they just weren't very good, or C, you are a degenerate boosting Andy and you want to AoE gold farm your life away like me. So today I want to talk about the Protection Paladin, things that you can do to prepare to play TBC as this class. Now, full disclaimer, this isn't going to be a best in slot list guide. It's going to be geared towards showing you different gear items that you can strive towards playing the game in a way that you already enjoy. Things like solo/dungeoning content, raiding, or PvP, just gaining gear, playing the game, and enjoying pre-patch while it's there. So without further ado, let's jump right in and see what gear options the Protection Paladin has in store for us. To quickly touch on consumes, here are a couple different categories of items that you might want to stockpile to help with your leveling process and maybe get you out of jams when you find yourself in one. So things that recover mana, like mana potions and dark and demonic runes, or things that provide additional spell power, like elixirs, flasks, or weapon oils, and things that provide additional armor, defense, and health, or food buffs because they gave you some base stats, as well as utility items, things like invisibility potions, free action potions, swiftness, living action, all of those different kinds of PvP/utility items that might get you out of a jam if you find yourself in one. If you're a Horde player and want to play Paladin, you're going to have to wait until the Burning Crusade pre-patch, which you probably already knew because that's when they're going to release the Blood Elf race and allow us to start playing. Well, this is different from when the Burning Crusade came out initially because you didn't have access to play the Draenei or the Blood Elves until the actual release of the game. So people were going through the Dark Portal and you were just leveling from level 1. So they decided that they wanted to give players who were interested in playing these two new races the ability to catch up in levels before the release of the expansion. So people have about a month in order to do that. Additionally, once pre-patch hits, there will be a change to the PvP system. So if you really enjoy PvP and Battlegrounds, there will be a way that you can gear up for TBC solely doing Battlegrounds. Now, this isn't going to cover all of your different gear slots, but it will cover a lot of them. And the way that this works is that honor is now a currency rather than something that stockpiles and then just decays over time. Instead, this is a currency that you can take to a vendor with some of those marks of honor that you get from the different Battlegrounds to purchase individual pieces of gear that you are interested in. So you could totally kit yourself out playing just PvP and be ready for the Burning Crusade. If you are a brand new player or a returning player who hasn't played in a while, then raiding might be the best option for you in gearing up and playing in TBC. Now, the reason for this is because first, you're going to get your gear from the different raids that you're helping and participating in, but then also B, you're going to find a guild or a group that is regularly doing content and you can make a name for yourself and maybe even find yourself a roster spot for TBC raids in the future. Now, the raids specifically that you're going to want to look out for are Blackwing Lair for Tier 2 Judgement set. You're going to also want to look out for Encourage groups for that Tier 2.5 Avenger set. And then additionally, you're going to want to look out for the 20-man raids of Ruins of Encourage and Zul'Gurub. These don't have very good sets, but they do have some really great individual items that can help flush out the rest of that character sheet. If you can't find your way into a dungeon group, maybe the group you've been running with is full that week because you missed signups or you didn't sign up in time and you don't like PvP, then there is another option for you. You can go out and find the Dungeon Set 2 through dungeoning to get Dungeon Set 0 and then the solo quest line to upgrade that Dungeon Set 0 into Dungeon Set 2. This is called Soulforge Armor and it provides a couple epics. It's a pretty cool quest line and it can provide a good baseline set of gear for you to use going into the Burning Crusade. For cloak, neck, rings, and trinket slots, you are going to want to err on the side of spell damage pieces. This, you might have to soft res if you want some of the better pieces, but if you look at some of the pieces that have a little bit more stamina and a little bit more intellect, a little bit less spell damage, then they're not going to be as valuable to casters, so you won't have quite as much competition for them. But there are quite a few items, and I'll show some of them here for you, that shouldn't be too hard to get your hands on. Additionally, weapons, you're going to want some spell damage, but I separated this from the other ones because I wanted to talk a little bit about swing speed. There is an ability called Reckoning in the protection tree that gives you an extra swing on your next 4 attacks in the next 8 seconds. So the closer you are to that 2 seconds, the more you are going to make use of that Reckoning ability. Some of the items that you could look forward to using in this are things like Blood Collar, Azuresong Mageblade, the Grand Marshal and High Warlord Spellblade, or something called the Sage Blade. This is something that is a craftable item. It'll cost you around 300-ish gold, and that is kind of expensive, but it is a guaranteed epic item. Lastly, I want to talk about shields, and there are a lot of options out there, but if you are farming, you're going to want to look for a couple different things on your shield. First, you're going to want to find something that deals damage back to your opponent when they hit you, and or something that provides additional block percentage to proc and use with your other abilities that deal damage when you block. So some of the items that you might want to look into are things like Skullflame shield, Drillbore disc, the High Warlord and Grand Marshal shields, as well as the Blessed Karaji Bulwark. This is just to name a few. So there you go. No matter the way that you like to play the game, there are some great gear options out there for you to take advantage of and start preparing for the Burning Crusade. This might help you level a little bit faster or have a little easier time leveling, but you'll probably replace a large portion of your gear within the first couple levels into the new Burning Crusade expansion. And that's why I wanted to keep things kind of short and sweet, just give you some information if you might be new to the class or looking just to level in alt, so you can get some gear and just have something to prepare yourself, maybe give you something to do until the new expansion comes out. So if there's anything in this video that you guys found interesting or new, then please leave it a like down below, help other people find it, leave some comments on some cool gear that you guys are finding and utilizing, and additionally hit that subscribe button to see future videos. I will see you guys in the next video. Rarity out.